Hi, I'm John Giesick, and welcome to the C-Suite Sherpa podcast, where we shine a spotlight on business experts and resources that you should know. Let's dive in and meet today's guest, Thomas Schmidt, the principal of Velocity Business Advisors, where they focus on building value and transitioning businesses. Thomas, welcome to the podcast. Can you give us a snapshot of what your business does and who you help?
Certainly. We help business owners grow the value in their business, transferable value that will turn into their future income. We do that by first growing the value, then transitioning, whatever that transition may be for that owner. It could be a sale, could be passing it off to a family, but we help them through that process so that they can maximize the results of their lifetime effort. We do that through analyzing the business, certain processes that we follow. We expose value suckers in the business, and then we get processes and implementable plans to take those value suckers, turn them into opportunities, and build the value in the business. We do this with the owner and their team because it takes a committed effort on both parties to move the business there. And we know that every business owner is going to be out of their business one day. So one of the goals is to help that business owner leave their business on their terms, the way they want to, and they can build their own legacy instead of letting legacy just happen to them.
Yeah, that's a great point, Thomas. A lot of business owners we talk to, they have to come to the realization that eventually they're going to be leaving their business one way or another. It might be feet first, but they're going to be leaving their business. And to give
Absolutely.
them an opportunity to plan for that is something they're really looking forward to. So tell me about the companies that you help the most, size companies, and what phase of growth would they be in where they would actually ring your phone?
So ideally work with businesses in the, say, $5 to $50 million revenue range. And it's not that they haven't built the value, but what we're trying to do is extract more value. So that's why we go through the key elements of the business, find out where there's opportunity to improve, and we do that to increase the value. They may not be looking at an exit anytime soon, but growing the value of the business and them understanding how the value is built and maintained will help them when they do eventually leave the business on their terms or otherwise. Ideally, we're looking at a closely held or family held business, or a business where the person that has the vested power and control to make decisions is the person I'm working with. Working together is the only way to get these things done. I work with businesses in no particular geographic location, thanks to technology today. And if they're looking to exit, if I have a runway of 2 to 3 years, then we can really be effective in helping them grow that business, grow the value, and get the maximum exit at the time that they're ready to depart the business.
Yeah, that makes sense, Thomas. So when business owners, I'm guessing it's the owners that are actually coming to you. When the owners come to you, if you look back on all your clients, is there a theme that they come to you with? What are they saying when they actually call you? What's their presenting problem that they're looking to fix?
Recently talked to one, he said, by the end of 2024, I'm out of business. I'm gone. Did not give me a lot of chance to help him grow the value. Some owners found out that the value was not what they had hoped it was, but it was burnout, reached an age where he felt he should already be retired and enjoying more of his life. Helped him with the final part. They got a deal they were satisfied with, but it's usually, I need to be out of business. If they're really forward thinking, I'm 62. I want to be out of this business by the time I'm 65, or full retirement age, say 67. I want to be out. It gives a lot of opportunity. And I think the thing driving that is, I want to be out. I don't know how to maximize it, but I know that this is like my one bite at the apple. So I want to make sure I do it right. And that's where we come in and help them get to that point. It takes a lot of other people. It's not just me. I'm sort of the hub of the wheel, but it takes a lot of other resources that aren't my specialty. And I can talk to you about legal stuff and I can review your documents. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a CPA, but that doesn't mean I do your taxes and know your situation. I have to kind of corral the right resources to get the thing done. So then I can let the business owner do what the business owner does best, which is continue to run, operate, and maintain the value of the business.
Yeah, that's great. It takes a special business owner to realize what he's good at and what he's not good at and what to hand off to an expert with. I'm guessing there's control issues there, which we probably don't have time to get into right now. Let me ask you, Thomas, over the next 2 to 5 years, what do you think the biggest challenge is going to be coming up for you in your specific industry?
Well, I think part of the challenges are that there is a lot of people getting into this business. There's ways for people to go out there and obtain some education, but I think that I bring a lot more to the table than just doing that. The good news is there's a lot of people getting into it. There's a lot of people that need this help. And if you look at the baby boomers, the wealth transfer that's going on over the next couple of decades, I don't know, the $85 trillion of wealth to be transferred, and a lot of that is going to come from business. So I think that the business market, the industry will be good because of all those transfers, but I think that the expertise doesn't really equate to the number of people. So you have a lot of other professionals who tack this on. It's not really what they do, but they tack it on, which is actually good because those are the people that have relationships and trust and access to the people that we need to be doing business with. So if we build relationships with those people and we build trust with them, then we can learn how to share for our benefit, but ultimately for the benefit of the owner. And I think that once we have everybody understanding that, everybody has their role to play, the next 5 or 10 years may be the best part this industry's ever seen.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that there's a lot of players involved in selling a business. I mean, getting a business ready, numbers, personnel. I mean, even the negotiations, or maybe even especially the negotiations, is a key part where they're going to have to bring in people to help them with that. So yeah, that's great. You have resources to be the one-stop shop or the total package resource. That's great. So Thomas, we're gonna loosen the proverbial tie a little bit, and I want to do a lightning round with you just to give the viewers a chance to get to know you more on a personal level outside of the financial level. Um, so you ready to go through a quick lightning round?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna start off easy on you, Thomas. How about cats or dogs?
Stuffed.
Stuffed animal, dog or cat?
Yes, there
Yeah,
you go.
anything you got that I don't have to feed or pet or clean up after. That's great. All right, Thomas, what about, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a zombie apocalypse coming. So in the zombie apocalypse, you're only going to get to take one thing with you. So what are you going to make sure you got in your hand when those zombies start knocking on the door?
Does my wife count?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make sure she's safe. Awesome. Thomas, what about a favorite quote or a phrase that you think about often or something that has impacted you?
I have a quote that I use a lot with people. Is, sometimes I win and sometimes I learn. Used to say sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but I think learning is better than losing.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that attitude. What about, Thomas, I know you're a busy guy. What about if you get a minute or a half hour to sit on the couch in front of the TV? What's on the TV? Tell me something you're watching now or a favorite movie from the past. Give me an idea of what's on the TV.
My favorite movies from the past would be Godfather 1 and 2, and I'll watch that whenever they're on. More recently, I'm watching a show on Paramount called Landman, and I've got a little, background in the oil field service area, and that's a pretty interesting show.
Yeah, I just saw that ad for that, Billy Bob Thornton. I told my wife, hey, we got to put that on the list.
Yeah.
What about a book, Thomas? Book that's impacted you from the past or something you're currently reading right now?
Uh, I'm reading a book about the conspiracy of how Wall Street took over government. It's pretty interesting. I keep it there, read, we say when I have a few minutes, read. But, from the past, some of the books, or maybe I can't think of the name of it. The Ride of a Lifetime, which was Bob Iger, pretty interesting book.
Oh, that's great. What about let's shift over to the bucket list. Tell me something that was on your bucket list that you got to check off, and tell me something that's still on that list, but you know you're going to get it done.
One that I checked off was jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. One that has not been checked off that will be is scurrying around Ireland.
Why Ireland? Can I ask why Ireland?
Yeah, you have my name at Schmidt, obviously not an Irish name, but I have more Irish in my ancestry than I do German, and I'd like to just kind of get over and explore some of that.
Oh, that's great. All right, let's end on this one. So tell me, Thomas, what was one of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome to enjoy the success that you're having right now?
I think it was lessons learned, had to overcome problems with a business where we didn't do it right, didn't keep our eye on the ball, didn't make the best partner choices, had one great one and two that were just not so great. Didn't watch what we were doing, didn't read the market right, expanded too fast. In the end, it divided the effort. We had a great business going, and then we divided the effort. So eventually had to close the one business and retool the one we were in and sold it, but for significantly less than we would have a couple of years before that without the distraction. And I think overcoming that, overcoming the feeling of how come we ended up there, how come it wasn't as good as it was. I think what I did is, with a lot of deep dive and reflection, it turned me into a better person for sure, but turned me into a better advisor because right now I don't take anything for granted. And I look at things from a whole different view. I discern things with a lot of what might happen in them. And I think that's value that I bring to a relationship now that was from an experience that caused me to have that attitude.
Yeah, Thomas, that makes sense. We're going full circle with the sometimes you win and sometimes
That's
you learn.
right.
You nailed
Exactly.
it.
That's right.
Thomas, I appreciate you taking some time today. So people are going to watch this interview. What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Sure. You can reach me by email at Thomas at Velocity, VELOCITY, or go to the website at velocityba.com.
Sounds great, Thomas. Look forward to connecting again soon.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me. Take care, John.